and imagine.
Imagine a world desolate of hope, a world where no one has any future, the world of millions living in poverty. I don't know.
I hate myself.
What difference can we help, but I can think
I have to live up to my friends' expectations.
If they see me from Florida, will they still
No one will remember me.
I can't pay attention when I'm starving.
Why does it seem like the world is only against me?
Make it stop. I don't want to live anymore.
These are the thoughts that torture victims of poverty every single day, regardless of how many times they cry or scream.
These voices are lost in the dark, unheard by the drum of life, forced to battle their emotions within.
These thoughts devoid victims of passion,
Empathy, love, and instead scars them with distractions
embarrassment,
and shame. These are scars that never heal. With nearly 1 in 5 children living in poverty, it has become a pressing issue in our society that has been shunned through fear and shame.
For the millions that live in poverty, this is their reality. Every day, they wake up in the morning thinking that day might be their last. They have no hope. Many are on the verge of passing out. With nearly 40 million children relying on free or reduced lunch at school just to feed themselves 1 meal a day, this is a hard issue that we have to face. But that is also why many of us turn a blind eye to torture.
When we look to our left and to our right, we see a friend, but we don't see the scars within, the brutal destructive habits that they're chained by, the economic situation that fills them with shame. They are covered by a mask.
Frightened to tell the truth. Poverty is an issue that keeps us silenced. The victims of this issue are plagued. They are plagued with embarrassment. They are bullied and harassed every single day of their lives. They hush themselves, afraid to let others know about their situation. They put up a front,
A mask, saying that they are okay,
when in reality, they are not.
Many of them are foster children. Their lack of these basic necessities strip them from being able to focus on life.
With their hopes and dreams out of sight, 97% of foster youth do not graduate from college, and only 58% graduate from high school.
Hoping to find relief, many of them drop out of high school to find a minimum wage job. However, this only keeps them in the abusive cycle of poverty.
And what about ourselves? As a society whose solution for the homeless is to push them away. As a society who values money over individuality and artistic freedom.
As a society that dehumanizes those we consider different,
What are we able to see through the lens of poverty?
At the entrance of our charity dinner, we asked you to put a sticky note down if you knew someone in poverty.
The lack of sticky notes show that we do not see poverty as an issue today. That we do not see those among us are in danger of an economic situation. With nearly 120 audience members here today, this activity has remained unanswered.
Ignored
And silenced.
We see a representation of our knowledge about poverty on this board. The amount of sticky notes show how ignorant we are to what is happening right next to us.
This silent issue has led children, teenagers, students to become lost in the dark. Their future is grim, devoid of love and care.
Self-confidence is only a dream.
A dream that they've lost sight of. The many who are stuck in this darkness are consumed because they are stuck in a cycle of vicious harassment and bullying.
With their only value to be another number.
Another worker, another part of this machine that we call society.
Look at the candles on your table. With one at each table, it represents 1 in 5 children here who are in poverty right in California today.
Yet when you look at it, you see no significant value. You believe that each candle is just another part of our decoration, another part of this charity dinner. And that is just like what we see in society today. When we look at another student, we don't see what they are facing economically. We just believe that they are just someone else.
Just like the candles, there are those around us who go through hellish conditions every day, but yet it goes unnoticed. We look at them and think they're just another student in our population.
They are trapped in the dark. We tell ourselves that poverty doesn't exist. To us, just because their economic situation is different, we do not treat them as humans.
And this is what we believe over and over again. It is a lie that we keep telling ourselves, an excuse to run away from this serious issue.
We say that it is a them problem, not an us problem. These candles, the spark of talented individuals,
The light of opportunity
and hope are smothered. The cries of those desperate in need go unnoticed. Because we are the ones who stay silent. Because we are the ones that leave them in the dark. This is an us issue, not a them issue. Each beam of light you see here represents over 10,000 people who live in poverty. And together, they represent the people who live in poverty worldwide. They are still trapped in darkness.
But this doesn't have to continue. We can change the future. We can break the cycle of isolation that we've created.
These victims of poverty are people with dreams.
People with goals.
People just like you and me. It is time that we start treating each other as equals. Do not push away those who are different.
These lights on the ground represent each and every one of us here today. Together, we can build a foundation to help illuminate the way to those that are lost.
To be their beacon of hope. One light at a time. One interactor at a time.
As we each light up, we can bear the burden. Because none of us can progress if we don't stand up together.
As a community, we can light their way out of darkness and put their future in focus.
Because each of us are our own individual light.
That is shining bright. Together, we can illuminate the way out of poverty.
And to do this, this year we are shining a spotlight, giving a voice to an oppressed community. 95% of impoverished kids lack prescription glasses, leading to their future being fragmented and clouded.
They lose sight of what is most important. They lose sight of finding their own light and their own spark.
But to bring them clarity
An opportunity for the future. We have partnered with Vision to Learn to bring basic necessities to those in need.
we aim to raise $31,000 and $250.
We aim to provide 130 bikes to the 100% of children who are dependent on school transportation to get to school.
To give 50,000 meals to the malnourished.
And 100 classes to put their future in focus.
Through fundraisers
Events.
and volunteering.
We will be able to end poverty. Because we are people of change. We are the people who fight against these pressing issues who hurt those around us. We are the world shakers.
Dream makers,
Interactors.
It is our job to be willing to stand up when no one else will,
To speak up for the
to
voiceless.
support our community and be there for each other.
By sacrificing our time to put their future in focus, we will protect an individual's right to thrive.
We must help them out of that stigma that just because they are not fortunate, they cannot do anything.
To give them the power of belief and education to prove that they are valued as humans and that their life is worth living.
To help them realize that they can do so much more.
And be so much more than who they think they can.
To give them happiness.
To give them hope.
To give them opportunity.
But most of all, to give them love and self-confidence. This is who we are as interactors.
We are people of change.
We know we can make a difference.
We will make a difference.
And this year we are shining a spotlight
Giving a voice to a silenced community.
to put their future in focus. Because 1 hour of project is not enough.
1 hour of service is not enough.
1 can of food is never enough.
One person is not enough to face this issue.
But if we stand together as a community,
As District 5170,
we can change the world.
Thank you.